By now, you know artificial intelligence is evolving, but here's something new. Researchers are transforming chatbots into online agents, and they could one day replace workers. It is the focus of Cade Metz's report in the New York Times, and he is joining us this afternoon to give us a little bit of insight. Thank you so much for being here.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
Why don't we start with just the most basic question here? What are AI agents, and what are they capable of?
Well, today, as so many people are aware, we have chatbots that can generate digital text, whether it's a poem or a term paper or a speech, a tweet, an email. But perhaps the most important thing these chatbots like OpenAI's ChatGPT can do is generate computer code. They can write computer programs. And if you can write a computer program, you can go out onto the internet and do things. You can schedule a meeting. You can access a travel site and book a plane flight. In theory, at least, you can go out on the internet and do almost anything that a human being can do on the internet. And if you have a system that can do that, and we're not there yet, but this is what many companies and some of the most powerful companies on earth are working towards. If you have a system that can do that, it can potentially replace enormous numbers of white collar jobs.
Well, you mentioned people and the white collar jobs, so let's talk a little bit more about that. You never want to see anyone lose a job, but how might these AI agents one day replace workers, and in what sorts of fields might we see this happen?
Well, right now this is already starting to happen. You have chat bots that can generate computer code, as I said, and that means it's starting to do the job of a programmer. And it's not going to replace the top programmers anytime soon, but it's starting to replace people, lower down on the rung, beginners, coders that do the simpler work. These systems are starting to duplicate that. You have similar systems that can generate images, much the same way a chat bot can generate text. If you can do that, you start to replace graphic artists. There are so many areas where these systems are beginning to duplicate at least small parts of what people can do. As time goes on, these systems are going to get better at doing those things I mentioned, and they're going to get better at many other tasks. And the way to think about this is, if they're operating in the digital realm, they're going to get better at doing almost anything. And again, this is not going to happen immediately, and there's a lot of debate over how quickly it will happen. But as you can do more and more on the internet, you start to replace more and more jobs. People, so many people have jobs where they are mostly operating in the digital world. They're using software, they're using internet services. And we're starting to see systems that can duplicate that.
Okay, well, thank you so much for all the insight this afternoon. A lot to think about. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.